So it's 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, and it's a bathrobe video. You're probably seeing it at the earliest tomorrow morning, probably around 8 a.m. But I'm fired up right now. I need to talk about this because Racer.com's Robin Miller just dropped a pretty significant bit of news in terms of IndyCar. Ironically enough, Motorsport.com just leaked the 2021 NASCAR schedule, and then immediately after that, the IndyCar schedule leaked. And those things are certainly connected, and we're going to talk about why here in just a second. But this schedule, as Robin Miller has it, and I have no reason to believe that Robin Miller is not bang on in his prediction. He's usually very, very, very credible when it comes to things like this. The IndyCar schedule, I'm gonna be a little mean in this video. I hate to break it to you, looking for sunshine and roses, but the schedule as it's proposed is boring and repetitive and extremely disappointing for what is the first schedule that has come out in the Penske era. Now, certainly, they were working from behind the eight ball. I'm sure COVID-19 did not help them very much, and I'm sure the NASCAR schedule and all the track shuffle did not help them very much. In fact, we'll talk about that here in a second. But let's just show you real quick what this schedule looks like. You're going to see it scroll on the screen. I'll go into more depth as we go through, but the key points are that Circuit of the Americas is not coming back. Richmond is not coming back, and while Robin Miller doesn't have it listed here on the schedule, there is a possibility that Iowa will stay on the calendar, though Robin believes that it is not coming back. And as this meme shows you, this news breaking on the same day that the NASCAR schedule will come out, and the NASCAR schedule is a very interesting variety of tracks, some even on the dirt with Bristol. So what you have here, to me, is an extreme disappointment in terms of an IndyCar calendar. So let's just go through it. I'll just talk about each of the rounds and why, and you'll probably see, if you haven't already seen, kind of my problem with this schedule. So St. Petersburg, season opener, fine, that's traditional. St. Petersburg is a great track. It's a great place to host a season opener, no problem there. Thankfully, Barber's back on the calendar. The first three races, really nothing bad. So Barber second, Long Beach returning. That's good. This is where we get into where things get kind of crazy. So Texas Motor Speedway is going to have an oval doubleheader at the beginning of May. I believe it's May 1st to the 2nd. And it will be the first time an oval track has been before the Indy 500 in a regular year since around 2010, I think. So it's been a while. Okay. This is where things get bad, because when you start talking about the oval tracks and the fact that we're looking at a calendar right now for IndyCar where you have 3 oval tracks currently, we're assuming that Robin's right and Iowa's not going to be on the calendar next year. You have Gateway, Texas, and Indy, and then Texas doubles up. And that's what we're talking about here. Unfortunately, you look at the product that was Texas and Gateway, or was put at Texas and Gateway. It's just not a very good product. And that's running 2 races at Texas. I hope something's done to the track. We may find out tomorrow that there is something that Eddie Gossage is doing to the track. I hope. Because certainly I don't think right now that is a particularly exciting race to go into the Indy 500. And certainly it being a doubleheader adds to the repetitive nature of the schedule. Doubleheaders are kind of cool, but I don't want to see doubleheaders at a bunch of different rounds or racing twice a year at a bunch of tracks, and that's what exactly this is. Case in point, the next race, which is on the IMS road course, the traditional now Grand Prix of Indianapolis, which in a normal year, yeah, sure, I always complain about that race. I don't think it's necessary anymore, or at least necessary in that date, but it's staying there. We'll get later on in the calendar where that actually becomes a problem. Indy 500, obviously, that doesn't even need to be talked about. Detroit doubleheader. I mean, we've expected the doubleheaders at Detroit, but in a year where you already have a doubleheader at Texas, you're going to have a doubleheader at Detroit, and you're going to have 2 races on the IMS road course. Ugh. Ugh. Then you go on to Road America. Fine. Road America's a great track. Was a doubleheader this year. Clearly not going to be a doubleheader again this year. Mid-Ohio actually appears like it's moving up in the calendar. I've heard it's going to be around July 4th weekend. We'll have to see. There's also a possibility that Road America could be a doubleheader with NASCAR. Again, we'll have to kind of see how that all ends up shaking out. Toronto returns, which is, again, good. I can't say anything bad about that. Nashville, a new track, so it's really hard to say anything particularly negative about that. I guess the one thing you could say is it's another street circuit, and certainly there's going to be a lot of street circuits on the calendar, but really just road courses in general. Then you get to the IMS road course, and this is where I kind of start to have a problem. And what's funny is you may be saying, well, why is there another IMS road course race? Well, because the Brickyard 400 is going to race on the road course in August. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, there will be a video about that later today when it's officially announced. But 2 races on the IMS road course. This is like the nightmare scenario for me. It was perfectly acceptable. Or it's not perfectly acceptable, but with COVID and the fact that they had to run a race with NASCAR in July, I thought that was great. I thought that was really good. And just standalone, the fact that IndyCar and NASCAR are racing on the same weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that gets a thumbs up in my book. Do I really want to see a schedule where you've got 2 IMS road course races on the schedule at different points in the season? No. Boy. If the IMS road course was even remotely interesting, maybe. If the IMS road course was Barber, if the IMS road course was Road America, maybe I would want to see 2 races there in 1 year. But it's very unfortunate, I think. Very unfortunate. And it certainly plays into the fact that IndyCar needs to have a 17-race calendar. And for whatever reason, it seems like they didn't have any options outside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is a bit disappointing. The season then finishes with Gateway, Portland, and Laguna Seca. That is essentially traditional, or at least it's traditional when you're talking about this particular 2021 calendar versus the 2019 calendar, the last one that ran kind of in a normal circumstance. But I'm disappointed, no doubt about it. Lots of repetition, way too many road course races. Not that I don't like road course races, but when you're down to 3 oval tracks and one of them is a doubleheader for a combined total of 4 events, that to me, I'll just say it, is unacceptable from a fan perspective. One of the great things that IndyCar provides, which differentiates it from so many other series, is the diversity of the schedule. Well, this has come out now in a time where NASCAR is about to unveil its most diverse schedule ever. And now you no longer have, I'm going to say it, I don't think IndyCar even has that distinction anymore of being the most diverse series. It's NASCAR. So that's very disappointing. And the fact that NASCAR is leaving or going to one date on so many of their tracks, like Michigan, like Kentucky has no races, Chicagoland has no races. Now, certainly, it doesn't seem like that's an option. Robin Miller even specifically points out in this article that NASCAR sounds like they pushed IndyCar out of their date at Richmond, which sucks. It sounds like because NASCAR is pulling all the races out of Iowa, that track is going to go away. So it's possible that NASCAR is playing hardball with IndyCar now, which is a little bit disappointing, which is kind of a question mark as to why IndyCar is playing ball and doing a doubleheader on the IMS road course. But the lack of oval tracks is extremely disappointing. The doubleheaders, to me, are extremely disappointing. I know some people like them. I don't put myself in that category. I hope Robin Miller's wrong about Iowa. I'd love to be proven wrong, I guess, on that one. But I just don't see it as a possibility. I think Robin Miller is right, and this is a schedule, and it's very disappointing. There's no doubt about it. So obviously, as things break, I just keeping my fingers crossed that there's another oval on that calendar. Come on, please call up Michigan. Please call up Kentucky. Do something. Get another super speedway, another oval on that on the schedule, because right now it's just very bland. It's very milquetoast. It's very repetitive, and I hope it's not what Robin is reporting, but I think it's exactly what Robin is reporting. And again, the fact that this news breaks on the day that NASCAR announces this great diverse schedule is just kind of a double gut punch for the Roger Penske era of IndyCar. A little disappointing, but it'll be exciting to talk about NASCAR later on today. I hope you guys will stick around for that. Let me know your thoughts on this proposed schedule down in the comments below. Do you think it's legit? Because I certainly do. We'll see you in the next video.